Okay, so the first step to really creating our database is we need to create a table. A database cannot function if a table is not there, which includes all of our records and our fields. So in this video, we are going to, number one, create a table. We're going to look at modifying the primary key, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Save the table. I'm going to show you how to create a table in design view and both datasheet view as well. And then we're going to look at closing the table within our objects. So here's the small table we're going to create. We can see that there are 4 records, all right, each of our account managers, and within each record there are about, it looks like about 9 or so fields, okay? And we're going to, the structure of our table is going to look like this, all right? Each different field is going to have a specific data type and only allow our user to input a specific amount of text. So when it says field size, this is the limit. So no one can type in more than, for instance, 2 numbers for an account manager number, or more than 5 numbers for a zip code, okay? So we'll talk about what all that stuff means here momentarily, okay? So when we look at our table, let's go ahead and get into Access here. First thing we need to do is we create the table by going up to the Create tab, and we are going to click on Table. And it's automatically going to default to Table 1. We'll worry about saving that here momentarily. So first thing we need to do is kind of determine what our fields are. And looking back at our example, the first field was going to be our account manager number. So in order to rename the field, I'm going to right click on ID. We're going to hit rename, and we are going to type in account manager number. And then you can kind of just click in the white, and that will rename it. So we have our title in here, but the account manager number, or the field, is going to be unique. So what we need to do first and foremost is we're going to make some modifications to this field. We're going to change the data type from being auto number to short text. Okay, meaning we can input both numbers and letters. We're also going to change the field size to be 2. So I'm going to, over here in the field size, hit 2, and then I can just hit enter. So all that's going to mean is that anybody that tries to type data in here can type no more than 2 characters. Okay. Account manager number is also a very long name, so we need to abbreviate this. So I'm going to click up in name and caption over here. We're going to give this a caption of AM space number, or the pound sign. And we're going to tell it as a description that this is our unique identifier for account manager. And then I'm going to click OK. Now, I've showed you before that we can go ahead and click to add a new field. So the next field, let's use short text, is going to be last name. All right, and we're going to click in the space to let it go. Keep it as short text. We're going to change the field size to 20. But what I don't like about this is it's typically a lot more difficult to create our table this way, so we're going to change the view. I don't like creating the structure of my table in datasheet view. We're going to change it to be design view, and I think this is the best way to create the structure of our tables. Now, it's going to prompt you to save. We're going to save this as account manager, and then click OK. All right, so here are our first 2 fields, account manager number and last name. One has a field size of 2, the other has a field size of 20. You're also going to notice here this little key. That's a primary key. And basically what that means is the unique identifier of every single account manager. Thinking about what we have here at Hoffman, there are 1,800 students. Okay, for instance, there are probably close to 50 to 70 students with the last name of Patel. So if I tried to find students with the last name of Patel, I'd get a very long list. But what uniquely identifies each of those students is their ID number. So every table we create needs to have a primary key that identifies uniquely each record in the table. Let's put in our next field name now. It'll be first name. I can just hit the tab key with the short text, and down here is where we'll change the field size. So what I'm going to have you do here is pause the video. Once you see this screen here, you're going to put in the rest of the fields. You're going to select the correct data type, and you're going to select the correct field size. We'll do this bonus rate one here together. So pause the video, go ahead and put in street, city, state, postal, start date, as well as the salary and bonus rate. Okay, so here are the rest of our fields. I would like you to make one small change. The field size for first name and last name should both be 15. Street should be 20. City will be 20. State should be 2. Field size should be 5. Our start date should be a data type of date time. Salary should be a currency. And then for bonus rate, we're going to make this number, but we're going to change some properties along here. So instead of having it to be long integer, we're going to change this to be a fixed, or I'm sorry, single. The format is going to be fixed, and we're going to format this to 2 decimal places. I want you to switch back to datasheet view, save it. I'd like you to right click on account manager, and we're going to close that table. You can move on to the next video.